Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love my job as a product manager. I love the fact that I get to watch an idea go from just being an idea to becoming a product that people love and use. I love the fact that I get to work with so many people leveraging their expertise and experience to bring this idea to life. I could go on and share with you reasons why I love it here. But let's be honest, some days are not exactly as rosy. Yes, I get it. Product management is a very rewarding career, but beneath those shiny things are challenges that we face. You need to also understand that this is not just only in product management, right? Every career path has their own challenge. But in today's video, I want to share with you challenges I face as a product manager and how I tackle them. I'm going to be talking about 5 things: imposter syndrome, constant overwhelm, context switching, team morale, strategy, and planning. If you're ready, I need you to get your book and pen and let's dive right into the video. Hold on. Hold it. Where were you? Where? Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Now let's get right to the video. First of all, let's talk about something that a lot of product managers face but rarely discuss. This feeling is quite common, but not so many people talk about it openly. Imposter syndrome. Yep. As a product manager, you work with people that are experts in their fields, like designers, engineers, lawyers, marketers, data scientists, and the list goes on and on. And it's very easy for you to feel like you do not belong there. Trust me. Being there, done that, won a t-shirt. You ask yourself questions like, what do I know that I'm sharing? Like, why am I leading these people? Why am I here? Calm down. It's not the end of the world. You're not the only one experiencing this. And definitely you will not be the last person experiencing this. Here's a tip for you. This is something that's really saved me while building my career in product management. And I know that the world has placed so much weight on our shoulders that, oh, as product managers, you have to be on top of your game, you have to know this, you have to know that. See, know this and know peace. Your role as a product manager is not to have all the answers. Let that sink in. Part of your job is to bring the right people in and facilitate the process. Say to yourself, I am here to make sure that the team is aligned and the product that we are building meets the user's needs. Think empowerment, think alignment. If you want to learn how you can get rid of imposter syndrome for good, I'll recommend a video I uploaded recently. I'm going to put it somewhere up here. Be sure to watch it after this video. Next on my list, constant overwhelm. Guys, let's face it, being a product manager is it's a lot. It's a whole lot. And I'm not trying to exaggerate things. My fellow PMs, please, if you can relate to this, let me see your comments. Drop a message in the comment section. Being a product manager is a lot. As a PM, you're handling so many things, from product goals to product vision, stakeholder alignment, strategy, ensuring that your products drive business metrics, team morals and satisfaction, and the list goes on and on. There are days where I feel like no matter how much I do, I'm still behind. And the tricky part is that the work that we do as product managers often have to balance between different priorities, from business to engineers to the customer. And some of these things, or if not all of these things, do not align most of the time. How do I cope with this? Well, a few things. Number one, prioritize your task. This is easier said than done, but it is very, very important if you're going to be productive. Yes, I learned this the hard way. Not everything is a top priority. Did you get that? They will seem like they are priority, but not everything is a top priority. So you want to make sure that you are making a list of things that you need to do, be it urgent or important, and no, they are not the same thing. Every day, what I do is I like using my iPad, and I list out at least 1 to 3 things that I want to knock off that day. Something that if I do them would actually move the needle for me. And I focus on that. For things that are not exactly urgent, and things that I know that I can delegate amongst like my team, I do that. You don't have to do everything as a product manager. That's something I already knew that, but in practice, that's something I'm really realizing recently, that you don't have to do some things. You can support, but if you can delegate, delegate. Number 2, practice the art of saying no or not right now. It's basically you setting boundaries and being okay with not doing everything at once. Number 3, work with your manager or your supervisor to prioritize the task that you have at hand. This ensures that you're working on the right thing per time, and you're not just spending so much time doing things that are not exactly moving the needle or are not exactly meeting the expectations of your manager or your supervisor. Very important. Product managers are not exactly superheroes as much as we might want to be. We are humans too. We get tired, we have emotions, we get frustrated. So please, be nice. Speaking of dealing with overwhelm, let's zone in on one of the things that could possibly lead to that: context switching. I feel like context switching is one of a product manager's nightmare. And not just PMs, I mean everybody on the product team, but guys. 1 minute, you are in a deep conversation about strategy. The next minute, you're on a call, having to deal with incidents and bugs. Another minute, you need to be in a meeting with the marketing team. And when you think it can't get any worse, boom, a meeting with legal and compliance. And it goes on and on. Like, I think I have a love-hate relationship with this kind of experience, because personally, I love varieties. So that's another reason like why I love product management, because not every day is the same, right? It can be a lot and exhausting because every switch demands mental energy, and sometimes you can get to a point where your brain feels fried, and as much as we want to, we can't really give our 100% as product managers to everything. And the most annoying part or thing about this is, as a product manager, you have to have a say in almost every part of the process. Like, if you're not, like, really, some days I just want to scream in my pillow like, guys, I'm tired. But anyway, that's just me being dramatic. So yeah, context switching can be a lot. It can be a lot because, again, as a PM, when you're making decisions and things like that, you also have to make sure that whatever it is you're communicating is backed up by information, backed up by data. You want to make sure you're not misquoting somebody, and it's a lot, guys. So how do I handle this frustration? Honestly, I kind of approach this with an experimentation mindset. So in terms of productivity and things like that, I don't have one way, but I can share a few thoughts. Number 1, I would say, out of your 5-day work week, set out days for deep work. So for example, for me, what I've tried to do with my routine is Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm expected to be in the office. So I try to put most of my meetings on those days. It's not like I don't have meetings on the other days, but Tuesdays and Thursdays tend to be like my meeting days. I just tag them my meeting days. I try to keep my Mondays low on meetings, because I mean, you're coming back from the weekend and you're trying to recall priorities from last week, priorities for this week, and just setting yourself up for success for that week. So what I do have meetings on Monday still, but I try as much as possible to reduce them, and I intentionally map out time for deep work. And speaking of mapping out time for deep work, another thing I do is time blocking on your calendar. See, you don't want to see what I do for my productivity, I have different things. Remember when I said experimentation, but I'll talk about that in a different video. But time blocking is something that has helped me so much, that helped me focus. What do I mean? It's not enough to have to-dos, right? It's not enough for you to write these things out or have a to-do list. Intentionally block out time on your calendar. And no, there's this thing I used to do before where I would just, block out a huge block of time and title it focus time. Don't do that. You're not gonna focus, right? You're not gonna get things done. What I'm currently doing is, let's say I have things to do. So the first one could be work on a CRM brief, work on the PRD, probably review, prep backlog for refinement, right? Now we have those 3 tasks. What I will do is I'll go on my calendar and I will intentionally, if I say, okay, I'm going to spend 30 minutes or 45 minutes working on the CRM brief, I will look at my calendar for play areas or like just look for space basically. I will block out that time and I will title it CRM brief or work on CRM brief or PRD. So I know that, okay, between this time and this time, not just written on paper. And you know how, depending on the calendar you're working with, be it Outlook or Google Calendar, those notifications, you know, okay, while you're working on task 1, you will definitely get a notification the way you usually get a notification for meetings that, oh, it's time, the next one is coming up in 15 minutes, and so you have to wrap up on that one. Don't say focus. You're not gonna focus, but this is something that I'm currently doing and it's helping me a lot, and I think you should try it. The next thing I would say is review your task list, like review things that are taking up your time and delegate. You don't have to do everything. Remember when I talked about facilitation, you bringing people into the room or into the conversation or into the process and just guiding them throughout that journey. So you want to identify things that you can delegate and actually delegate them. So for example, if you work in corporate like me, you oftentimes, when it comes to product discovery, continuous discovery and research, you don't have to do all of it yourself. It's important that you speak with your users. It's important that you're in constant communication with your users. But there are times where you might not be able to jump on a research call and you have your, I don't know, again, these things, they depend on your company structure, but practically for myself and my product designer, there are days where I'm not able to show up and I just let her, carry on. There are days where she's not able to show up and I step in. So delegate, collaborate, work together. And last but not the least, turn off Slack notification. Guys, turn it off. Like, I'm not saying you should turn it off for the entire day though, but it really helps you focus. Turn it off. Like others, you see that sound? I'm gonna have like that sound. No, turn it off, at least, especially when you're having your focus time. From time to time, please do check the Slack channel, because I mean, something might be going on, or you might your attention might be needed ASAP. But please, from time to time, it just helps you focus and it reduces the noise in your head. Next on my list, team morale. You see, as a product manager, you're not just in the business of products, but you're also in the business of people. You're not just managing products, but you're also managing and leading people. People who have emotions, frustrations, ups and downs, personal challenges. Guys, I feel like this part of being a product manager is the hardest and the most underestimated part. Like, it's hard, especially when you're going through your own. Remember when I talked about constant overwhelm as a PM? You still have to look out for your team. Why? Because when team morale is down, or when your team is actually frustrated, first of all, it impacts you if you're someone that is quite passionate about people. So it gets to me actually when my team is actually down. It gets to me even emotionally. Let's not even go into that. But it also impacts the quality of the work, and it does impacting the product as well, the output. So team morale is an important aspect of a product manager's job. Like, it's something that has to be on your radar. Here are some things I personally do and I think would help. Regular check-ins with your team members. And I'm not even talking about check-ins during stand-ups. No, not that one. Depending on how you're working, be it remote, like I work hybrid, so there's like, you can do either of these things. Jumping on one-on-ones with them, randomly going into their DM and just, saying hi, checking on them, ensuring that they have all they need and not just that they are feeling okay. I know that, I don't know if you've experienced it, but in corporate, at least from my experience, sometimes when people are not feeling 100%, there's an icon we tend to use, and beside it, either not feeling well, out sick, or just not feeling 100%. And so when I see things like that, I sometimes, go into their DMs and like just check on them. Oh, hope you're good, it goes a long way. And it's not for anything, honestly, just to genuinely know if they are okay. And that is online. But if you're working with your, like, you have your team members with you in the office and probably you're sitting close to them, it wouldn't hurt you just standing up and just going over to their desk and saying hi, catching up with 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes. Oh, you good? I know one of my EMs did that for me a while back. I feel like it's gonna say this, but anyway, I really appreciated it as well. So just checking on your teams, the engineers, the who else you're, like, people you work with generally, but start with your product team, and you can go like further and look out for like other people outside of your product team as well. The next one I would say is foster a sense of ownership within the team. There's this thing I love doing. I love it when people know how what they do contributes to the overall vision or the overall strategy of the business or the overall impact on, business metrics. So this will mean you not just delegating tasks that you feel like these people, they are able to handle, and that kind of fuels their confidence level, boosts their confidence level, but also you constantly communicating and being transparent and helping them see how what they do contributes to the bigger goal or the bigger vision, and how what they are doing is not a waste. Trust me, it goes a long way and it actually impacts team morale greatly. I have engineers on my team that are very, because I want everybody to have a product mindset. Product mindset is not just for product managers, it's not just for product designers, right? If everyone has a product mindset, it makes the work easier, and I wouldn't have to explain why certain decisions are made and things like that. So try to do that. Last but not the least, openly commend your team members. Show appreciation. Give them their flowers. Like, if someone on your team did something amazing that led to something, like, say well done openly. Don't just leave it in the DMs, right? During stand up, during retros, right? Depending on how you guys design or develop your retro template, put their names there. Oh, great shout out to this person, that person for coming through, for doing this. It goes a long way, even though, especially for people that, if you're working with people that are quite introverted, or you're working with people that don't really like the spotlights much, they just like working behind the scene, it doesn't still hurt to just acknowledge their work, their presence. It goes a long way in impacting team morale. And for my fifth point, strategy and planning. I'm gonna do another video to go into details, but let's just talk about it. At the heart of product management is a need for you to create a vision for your product and guide it from concept to reality. I want you to understand that planning isn't just about having a roadmap or laying out a roadmap. It's more about adaptability. It's more about adjusting things based on new data, changing business priorities, and shifting market conditions. I know this can be a bit frustrating, but part of being a PM is you being able to adapt to situations without losing sight of the goal. To tackle this, I would say always build flexibility into your plan. Nothing is really set in stone, and this is something I had to learn. You need to be able to adjust as you go, adapt basically. So there you have it. Some of the challenges I face as a product manager. I know there might be more, but these were the ones I wanted to highlight in this video. A bonus tip for you: in the midst of all these challenges, I think something that really helps is having a great support system. It could be in the form of a community, a mentor, a coach, just someone that, or even a colleague at work that in the midst of the overwhelm and things like that, you get to reach out to and just share some of your frustrations and just get that comfort. And so I would say have that. If you don't have that already, look around you, look within you. If it means hiring a coach that you can talk things through to help you reduce the overwhelm or help you even address imposter syndrome. If you want to work with me as your coach, I'm going to put my link down below. Feel free to click on it, fill the form, and get in the room with me so that we can help you create a very conducive atmosphere for you to thrive as a product manager. And so we've come to the end of this video. If you liked this video, if you found it helpful, don't forget to like, click the subscribe button, share this with a friend or two. And if you're a product manager watching me right now, I'm sure you have more to talk about. So I would love to hear from you. How has it been like working as a product manager? What are those challenges that you are currently facing? And how are you tackling those challenges? Drop a message in the comment section and I'll be there to read them. Till next time, bye.